Data is a journey and not a project. And I'm just going to give you that punchline up front. But what I want to talk about is why that matters and how you can use that mentality to avoid wasting all your time and money on data projects. Part of the problem is data is a business asset. You look at it and you think, boy, if we could do some AI, if we could do some better reporting, we could make better decisions, we could ask better questions of what's going on in our business. That's the mentality that you go into it with. But because there's so much technology involved, often this quickly turns into an IT project or a technology project. I used to be an engineer, and when I look at an effort, I always thought, well, this is going to be easy. I'll gather all my requirements. I will just hone everything down to know exactly what needs to be done for this project. And if I gather all my requirements up front, then the project is inevitably going to succeed. And I thought when I was a young engineer that that's the secret. That's the Midas touch. That's going to make things successful. And it's true if you have a project where everything's known and you can define everything up front. But that's an engineer way of thinking. How often in business is everything static, everything crystal clear up front, and everything known? And how often you're able to just define everything concretely so you can hand it off and say, here's the blueprint, just go build the thing. In my experience as a CEO, that's never the case. I am constantly learning, we're constantly trying things, we're constantly adjusting. And it's kind of the opposite mentality of what an engineer is approaching the project. So we get into a data initiative, we identify an opportunity to leverage data better. We find people that can help us, and they're all engineer mentality. They want to do a project, and they're like, well, what's your requirements? Well, I don't know. Like, what data do I have? What could I do with it? And I just need to see something first. So you can see how in business we operate iteratively. We learn, we adjust, we take the next risk. What I don't want to do is take a $100,000, $200,000 project risk. What I want to do is take a week and show me what's there, and then I can make much better decisions about what the next step is. Somehow we have to overcome this pattern of involving engineers to get things done with technology and the project mindedness that they come into this with. We've gone through this in my business too. This is December 2024. One of the things we're trying to figure out is how do we know when it's time to hire our next data engineer? We're a bootstrapped company. We're not a huge company. Every single hire matters. You can see the impact on the bottom line when we bring on a new salary or new FTE. So knowing when to make this decision matters a lot. And we're a data company. So we thought, great, let's make this decision with data. That way we're not wrong. And we frustrated ourselves. So we jumped into the data project. So even we do it. We even do it. We're a data company. This is all we do. This pattern's still in place in our thinking, right? We know we have data. Let's do a project. Should be an easy one. And let's learn how to make this decision. And it just didn't pan out that way. What it did open up is it clearly showed what data we had available that might factor into a decision like this, what data we didn't have available, and that informed the framework that we put together on how we're going to make this decision going forward. It's not like a cart and horse thing. It's more like once you see what's available and once you take that step, then you have better information about the data that you have in the first place, and that starts to form an opinion, and then you can take a better step forward. So it's not a project, it's much more iterative. You give this to an engineer and they're gonna hate you. They're gonna say, I need to know the requirements. I need to know exactly what you want me to build for you. So there's this like bridge that you have to overcome. But the first step is just entering into it knowing that data is not a big project. So if you get a proposal from an internal team, from a consultant that says, this is gonna be $100,000, this is gonna be $50,000, it's gonna be $500,000, you know that what you're in is an ambiguous situation. You know that data is a journey, just like business is a journey, and that you have to learn and you have to iterate and make decisions along the way. So if someone's gonna tell you that they can make this a slam dunk, if only you'll sign the check for six-figure project, you gotta have a different framework. So back to the punchline, data is a project is the wrong mentality. Data is a journey, and it's iterative. It's gonna make you much more successful.